What's going on, my friends? Welcome on out to Behind the Energy Podcast, where we dive into behind the scenes of DJing, entrepreneurship, and all the excitement in between. We got some friends, some cool people joining us, and a lot of fun stories. So without further ado, let's jump into Behind the Energy Podcast. That was a good clap. Nick, I don't even remember what episode we're on right now, man.
This is season 2, episode 7.
Season 2, episode 7.
So 15 plus 7.
Season 2, episode 7.
Yeah.
Season 2, episode 7 of Behind the Energy Podcast. What's up, party people? I'm sitting here with my man, Erick Miner's in the house, ladies and gentlemen. Eric,
hello.
what's up, bro?
Yeah, thanks for having me. Happy to be here.
Before we jump into it, I have to ask, what was the inspiration behind the hair, bro?
No, that's a good question. So growing up, I always had the cool hair, especially in high school. That was like my thing. I didn't care what I was wearing, but my hair had to be on point.
Okay.
So it never was like anything super crazy, but it was like doing like that like faux hawk, Euro hawk stage where it's like that long kind of mullet in the back and really the little nice little push up front.
Yes.
So I had like brown in the middle and on the sides and then like bleached highlight down the sides like into like a mohawk down to the back. Coolest thing ever. And someone at a DJ conference, or it was at a Wedding Pro, someone said, the things that made you weird as a kid are the things that make you special today. So taking that was like, I should bring some of my weird things that I really enjoyed about me as a younger person. And so we did it.
I can get behind that, man.
Yeah,
that's
it was cool.
Awesome. Do you know who it was? Who said that?
No idea. That's why I don't know if I remember which conference it was at, but one of them.
Are you gonna keep dyeing it?
No, I think I'll just let it do its course and then see what happens. I don't think I'll go to the extreme of like doing like a bright blue or a red or some color.
Maybe a frosted blue.
Yeah, maybe
like
a
little
tips blue tint.
Bro. There we go.
I've seen like, because I have to use like fancy shampoo now.
Oh, shoot.
So I use this purple shampoo that if you leave in it too long, it will start to get like a purple tint. So some of the tips are like turning purple.
Not in this lighting, bro. It looks great.
Yeah, well, it's because I've learned not to leave it in too long, but it's definitely a route I could easily take.
Interesting. Eric, thank you, bro. To provide a little bit of context for the listeners, the viewers, Eric's been a homie and a very supportive friend in the DJ community for, probably 5 or 6 years at this point. Just talking prior to starting recording, the length of your marriage makes me think, how long have you been DJing? And if you listen to some of the podcasts, a lot of them are started out really kind of not only talking about how our friendship kicked off, but really telling us a little bit about your story. And I know that Miner Music started with your father. I don't know when that was, but what I'm hoping we can do is maybe turn the time over to you for a minute to talk us through Miner Music and the early days and how you overlapped with your father and then how it's kind of grown to where it is today.
Perfect.
Yeah.
It was 1996.
96.
Yeah, so I think it was June or July we got our first promo-only CD in 96.
CD in the mail, bro.
Yeah. So I remember they were $20 and you got one every month. Every month was a different color. And that was always like, Christmas to kind of go through of which ones we would like, which ones we thought would be big. Because it was always like a month or almost a couple months in advance of what you would hear on the radio. So it was...
Yeah, because it didn't, I guess, populate or become well-known or established or spread.
Yeah.
Like it does now today.
Yeah, so it was
like
pretty cool to have things, but then it reached a point where we weren't... Well, it just reached a point where you had all this music, but no one knew it yet. And if you would play it, it's like, well, we don't know that song yet. Hold on, baby birds. We'll get you there. Wait a couple months, and then we'll come back to it. But
that's awesome.
Anyway, so 96 is when it like officially started. My parents were both teachers, and my dad was the fun teacher that all the kids wanted to have. So he did some music for like classes and just like school events. And then moved out to doing other schools. And then other teachers started to have their kids that were getting married. So then it turned into weddings. So every weekend it was kind of just another event to load gear in, really heavy gear. Like the day that I lifted my first like subwoofer on my own, that was like a really big moment that I was like, yes.
Without
I
somebody
made
else's
it.
help.
Yep, I did this on my own.
You may have hurt your back a little bit.
Yeah, but it was worth it because I finally was able to like do it.
Well, how old were you in 96?
Yeah, so I was born in 87. So
87.
Yeah.
Dude, good for you. I wish I had a little bit of the 80s like in my life. Even just listening to the music, like it just seems like an era that was filled with so much uniqueness and cool energy. Just listening to music. So 87 is when you're born. 96 was when the business kicked off.
Yep.
So that makes you 8, 9.
Yep.
When you started helping your dad out.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, and that was it. I mean, we're talking like dressing up, disco ball, especially like in the weddings. My dad had this like pink jacket with like glitter that was glued on the lapels on the side, like just real fancy stuff.
Was pink like one of the branding colors?
Yeah, exactly.
Even back at that time.
Exactly. So that's one thing
Okay.
that has stayed consistent, that I didn't want to lose that color.
If listeners, if you check out his website, it's very clean. It's a beautiful website.
Thank you.
You probably put a lot of time and energy and money into it.
Did.
That pink, that almost electric pink.
Yeah.
Is very present. So that's dope.
That's where the
it's
pink
still
comes
here.
from. Yeah, so 96, doing a lot of those school events, weddings, and then in 98, my dad had a really bad stroke. So this is where things kind of changed. He has this weird disease called CADASIL. It basically just means you have a lot of strokes, but you bounce back almost to where you were already at. Meaning that you didn't have a stroke that took you no speech, no walking. Like, it's not that bad. It's a weird, like, 2-week period where he is just out of it. Can't speak, can't eat. And then all of a sudden, like 14 days later, he's back.
Wow.
And it's the weirdest thing. But so that's something that he's gone through over the years. But 98 was the first big one. And so when that happened, the business was going pretty well. He's no longer doing teaching because we don't know when a stroke is going to happen. So he retires early, but then he's still DJing and doing these events as, you know, something that he loved and enjoyed to do. So it kind of carried him probably from not falling into like a deep depression because of what happened. So it kept him busy and something to be active.
Something unique.
Yeah.
Exciting. I imagine for your dad to be the fun teacher and to take this on as first maybe like a little hobby to turn it into a business. Like that music was something he's genuinely passionate about.
Absolutely.
Always playing at home.
Absolutely. So there was music always playing. And his music, he really loved music that his parents and even, well, not his grandparents, definitely what his parents would enjoy. So we're talking like Lawrence Welk, just real old people music. Okay. But then that carried on to us that we enjoy that music. So it's always fun when I can find these like little gems. It's not as great as it was years ago because now my clients aren't as old or they're just younger than they used to be.
Yes.
That when I can play a song and it's like grandma's wedding song and they're like, how did you know about this song, this artist? Like this, no one knows this. And if I can do that, that always makes me feel real good. And I can kind of get a good judge of this is probably when they got married. They're going to love this type of song. And
Yeah, being able to pull that out of your bag of tricks every now and then, and they do maybe come up and say something or
absolutely,
say, hey, thank you for playing that.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's awesome.
I love that feeling. So that always motivates me to find some treasures throughout the night.
You're sharing some gold, Eric. Will you scoot this up so
I
everyone
didn't know it
everyone
fell.
can hear the gold that you're hearing?
Yep.
You're sharing, bro. There we go.
Okay.
Sometimes it's got a little mind of its own.
I'll let you talk while.
No, you're good. Sometimes it's got a little mind of its own. But so at this point, your father did transition to, I guess you could say, full-time doing events.
Yeah.
While still working with the health conditions. You are becoming older, you can carry your speakers by yourself.
Yep.
Fast forward maybe high school and post high school. Is
Yep.
this more so a full-time job for you at this point, or what does that
So
look like?
no, this is definitely like, do you want to do it? It was kind of almost not like a burden, but it was like, there's another event that dad needs help at, or we need to go help him clean up. Like when you're out partying with your friends, and it was like, well, sorry guys, I have to go early because I have to go help clean up. Which was fine, but it was always, you had to leave your own party to do that. But so in junior high, I loved getting checked out of school early. That was the coolest feeling.
To
Like,
go
there's
do
an
it.
after school dance. Sorry guys, I got to get checked out early. I got to DJ the dance afterwards. You guys come in? I'll get you in for free.
That's dope.
So that it was there through high school as well, of doing those things. He was doing more weddings. So think of like 2006. Things weren't super active at that point. My dad's older. His health is like at a new baseline. My hobbies are different, not knowing that I could do this full time, or if I would be able to, provide for a family doing something like this. So I guess I'll just lead into corporate world. So having my parents be teachers, education is very, very important. As I would tell you to just keep going and never stop, which you are so close. You're done, right? This is it.
I'm done, man.
That's so
Last
cool.
week finished.
So cool. Did you finish the final, or you had one more paper, right?
I finished it.
Oh boy.
A week
boy.
ago today, actually, I submitted that.
That's so
puppy.
cool. Well, congratulations. That's
Thank you.
huge. So education, having a very stable job and providing for your family is super, super important. So I worked in finance, knowing that was a place that would be super stable and provide a long career of a lot of opportunity. So I worked at Fidelity Investments for a long time. Loved every part of it. It was a lot of work, a lot of hours, a lot of licensing involved to do the job. But that gave me something to obsess over, and really learn something so complicated was a lot of fun. Then I moved to WCF Insurance, where they do workers' comp insurance specifically. So it was nice to have just one thing to focus on and be really good at. And then in 2017, my dad finally decided, I'm done. I'm not going to do any more events. This is too much for me. The stress that comes with it is usually a big cause of like a bad headache, which results in like a stroke. It could. So having the DJ business reached a point where it was just like, it's not going to be good if he's going to carry this much stress.
I see.
So in 2017, he says, I'm done, but if you want to keep it going, I'll just give everything to you. So I was like, well, okay, maybe this is, my whole life's wondering of what am I supposed to do? What's my purpose? And that just happened. And I took over the events that were kind of already booked, made it kind of more public that I was going to take it over, not as a full-time career, just that it was going to be an option for me to provide some entertainment. And then it reached a point at working that it was, who's losing out? Now you have, a wife, a job that you work out during the day, DJing at night, and one of those is going to be suffering because you're trying to do all three.
That's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot of time. Balancing all three things was very hard, and something had to give. So I gave up the stable, safe option, which was something that I've never really done before. And my wife felt good about it. I felt good about it. And so we said, all right, well, let's do it. So I quit the corporate job, and that was in November of 2019. 2020 is looking so good.
Bro.
And the beginning of 2020, things are still great. Loving it. Best decision I've ever made in my entire life. Things are going to be so good. And then March 2020 happens. And I still didn't regret leaving my job at all.
I love that.
It was the best decision I ever made. The creativity and the things that we all had to do during COVID is great. I mean, there's so many intimate weddings, even just like for the kind of the LDS side of things for couples who can't have a ceremony outside the temple now are forced to have a ceremony outside the temple, and to be able to be a part of those weddings and share vows and do things and rituals that are different outside of the temple that more people could participate in and be involved with was really, really cool. So I'm talking about like weddings that were up in the canyons and not in your like normal venue spaces, doing stuff like off the grid with battery powered speakers and mixers, and just wherever you wanted to get married, that's where we're going to go. And I'll bring the sound, I'll bring the lights, and we'll just do it. So it was really, really special that, COVID happened, but there's a lot of stronger relationships that came out of it because of it. So it was cool to be a part of it.
I remember quite a bit before the pandemic, we went to what is now known as Mobile Entertainment Expo, Mobile Beat, and the DJ's Vault had just come out. And I remember prior to that, we had chatted a little bit, but this is right around the time when you were going full time. I remember talking to you out at this like social by the pool, just talking about how much opportunity is out there in the work that we do, and that almost like, I don't want to say that we've been undervaluing ourselves in recent years, but more so that there's so much room for growth. And I'm so proud to say that for myself and the company, Alive Entertainment, things have definitely grown a lot since that time and a little bit before. But even just seeing from the sidelines, I've seen you make some major growth too.
Thank you.
With your DJing and your business. Was the pandemic a need to get creative, the inspiration behind that, or maybe you could share like the motivation, or even like a learning lesson of this time from when you're taking DJing full time, taking minor music full time, and the pandemic hit, but you've got all these ideas and projects.
So
that's
there's
a lot of information,
and that's okay. There's a few factors that I think were really beneficial. One was Mobile Beat itself, just knowing that, hey, I'm actually doing some things that are good. I mean, because you always put this picture in your mind of this is what a DJ should be doing, and one day I'll be that cool and be able to do those things. And then you get to Mobile Beat and you're like, oh, I'm doing those things. Like, I'm doing this. Like, I can totally do this. I belong here. So Mobile Beat was huge. A good experience for me to finally talk to other DJs. Growing up, I didn't really talk to other DJs because it always felt like more of a competition thing of you don't want to tell them what you do, or just judging that, oh, I can't do that, or maybe I can do that better, and just that was just how things were. So Mobile Beat was such an opening to be like, whoa, like, no, these people are not competition. Like, you can learn and grow. And because of that, like, I've met you, Cam, and Cooper, all of these people that, all because of Mobile Beat, now my closest competitors are some of my closest friends. So Mobile Beat was huge. The other big things, the Vault, of course, was a great opening for a lot of relationships that I've built. This last year in 2021, Gabriel Garzaro and Mike Villa created this mastermind group called Master the Levels. And it's all about personal development and business growth as a DJ specifically.
Dude.
And I've been in that since January 1st of 2021, so I've been in it for a full year. And that is a huge, huge part of the success that I have, is all because of what I've been accountable for in that group.
I've seen you share maybe little snippets of that community and the what you're doing within that community just on social media. I've heard of Master the Levels maybe from someone else aside from you, but I don't know anything beyond that. Perhaps this is something we talk about when we're not doing a podcast, because I'm intrigued and I have the time I can put towards that now. Erick, let's see. Unfortunately, we've got maybe like 5-10 minutes left, but in this last 2-3 years of some major growth, and seeing Miner Music expand and accelerate, and has there been anything that that has struck you as just a major learning lesson as you've continued to expand, or perhaps something that you came to terms with when you realized, hey, this actually is something that I can do as a career, I can provide for a family with. Is there anything, of that nature that I guess has been a part of your journey? Is that question making sense?
I'll put it this way, that a big turning point for me as a business owner, husband, dad, all of those things, was including my wife into the business, where before it was just, I was doing everything on my own. I didn't run any ideas, or what do you think about this, or should I take this wedding? And she was always the one of, you're not charging enough. You're doing all of this. You're gone all day. We never see you. How much do you have to make it worth it? Or just go work at your other job and we'll be able to see you more. And so having her included and listening to her advice as a equal, and not taking her advice as, well, you don't understand the market. You don't get it. I can't charge that much. I'm not good enough. I'm not able to provide that level of quality.
There's so much to talk about there. Wow.
So now where I'm at is at a very, very good spot where I'm still wanting to grow and I still want to become better. And I think that goes back to like the finance, where you had continuing education. You had to obtain new licensing or keep those licenses by taking the test again. And so I take that into the DJ world, where I want to always be learning and always have something more to do. So there's still way more that I want to get to. But where I'm at right now, we're definitely in the conversations with the wife of, see, I told you. Why didn't you do this sooner? I told you you were worth this much. I told you the people would find you. See?
And your responses are, honey, I love you. You're so right.
Exactly.
Is that what it is?
Yeah. Oh, geez. Yeah. But it's been really good to have that relationship with my wife, that even though I'm working maybe more than what I was working before in a normal job, but when I'm scrolling through pictures, it's with the family. We're somewhere, we're together, we're out to lunch during the week. So many things that we're able to do now that we've never had we talked about it, that I've been married for 12 years. So think of 8-9 of those years, we're just now being able to experience what life could be like. Wow.
And I remember when I saw you at the WIPA Gala, your wife is also a business partner now with a new division to Miner Music, with the photo booth, correct?
Yep, exactly. So it's been cool. We've done a few events together, so that's been fun. But even just this last Saturday, I had a wedding, and then she had a corporate event at Grand America. So she was like, she's doing so good.
Having fun with it?
She's definitely having fun with it. So it's been cool to have her be a mom and be a photo booth business owner as well. It's been a good combo.
She also is working on her full-time job, correct?
No, not anymore.
Oh, rad.
So, yep, she's mom and does the photo booth.
That's rad. Huh.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness, Eric. I kind of wanted to jump back to another thought, but perhaps since we are going into a new year now, it's been a year since you joined. Remind me the name of this community.
Master of the Levels.
Master of the Levels. Tell me about a plan or an idea or two going into 2022. Is there a particular goal or an area of focus for whether that be your DJing, the family, anything in particular?
It's a goal that I think is obtainable, and I just want an assistant. I just want someone to help me carry a speaker, someone to lay down a cable correctly the way that I want, that they can EQ a microphone the way that I want, and take a little of that stress on a wedding day off of me, to where I can be getting to know my clients more on wedding day when their family's actually there, and being engaged with them and not have to be sweating and
running
around.
Your heart racing.
Yeah, then I have to go change my clothes and then come back.
Yep.
And it would just be nice to find a talented person that would be willing to fulfill that role. So that's my goal for 2022.
It's a great goal. If you find one, maybe we can share them.
Yeah, exactly.
And this is a call out to anyone who may be interested. I guess, Eric, two other quick thoughts, my friend. I also like to provide maybe some form of like learning opportunity for either other entrepreneurs, other DJs, people in the entertainment industry. If you were to give a tip or a thought to a beginning DJ, say yourself when you are 14 or 16 or just graduating high school, what would that be? What would you like to share with them?
I would say practice.
Mm-hmm.
And that could mean practicing as a DJ, where you're trying new things, you're learning new things by watching others, watching videos, paying for courses.
Mm-hmm.
You're practicing that, but also you're practicing in the mirror. You're talking to yourself, you're being your own hype man to tell them how great you are, and having the confidence, even just in the sales process, that you're talking to yourself. And if you can do that awkward setting, then when you're on the phone with them or on a Zoom call, it's not quite as awkward and you'll sound pretty good.
I'm going to take that one for myself.
Yeah.
Seriously, I don't know that I've explicitly done that in front of a mirror,
Yeah.
whether that's a phone call with a potential couple or emceeing.
Because it's awkward. It's super awkward. So
Yeah.
then when you're not in that mode, you're like, oh, I've already done what's extremely awkward, so this is not as bad.
I like that. There you go, fellow DJs. I haven't done that kind of practicing in front of a mirror myself. So take that one. I'm going to take it myself. Eric, my friend, seriously, dude, jumping back to your comment you made earlier with the supportive DJ group, the community, that, Cameron, Cooper, myself, Brady, whomever, all the other DJs in the community are not viewed as like competition, but actually people that we can learn from and are incredibly supportive in each other's businesses, even though we may like quote on the same event, whatever. What I'm trying to say here is that I too have come to find that accepting this community and making all the amazing friends that I have has been very beneficial, not only to my friendship circle, but also to the business, and have been big supporters in my goals, and one of which being you, for sure. Always encouraging me to stay in school. We finally did it, man. You've always shown a bunch of kindness my way, and I just want you to know I appreciate it.
Oh, thank you. Likewise.
It doesn't go unnoticed, and if I'm being honest, dude, like sometimes I feel like I'm not able to show the appreciation or the kindness in return because I'm stretched so thin. And I know that's no excuse, but just know that I'm grateful for you, man. And I'm grateful to call you my friend.
Thank you. Let me. I want to say one thing. So, I did get a text when I was super busy this year from Parker saying, "Hey, it's great to see you busy, but I just want to make sure you're taking care of yourself." And I told that to my wife, and all she said was, "Now that's a great friend."
What I want to say, Eric, is thank you, dude. And I appreciate you making the time, driving out for the podcast. It's something new. Hopefully people find this fun, interesting. Is there anything you want to leave the listeners, the viewers with? Where can people check you out?
Oh,
where
sure.
the mix is at?
Sure.
Like what's up?
Yeah, so it's actually been pretty cool. So now I've been playing on a radio station in Florida. And so you can check out my Mixcloud. You can check out their Mixcloud, which is Play FM. And then on Instagram, Miner Music DJ. That's all of my stuff. I wish I could be more active. I tried to do pretty good with like stories on event day. And then after that, it's always so stressful to worry about having the perfect post. And that's another conversation that we can talk about. But That's where I'm at. Miner Music DJ.
Miner Music DJ. We could have 3 other podcast episodes on that. Miner Music DJ. Look for the electric pink Erick Miner, ladies and gentlemen. This is another episode of Behind the Energy Podcast. We'll catch you next week for I don't know what episode, but we'll see you next week. Peace out.